you know, I think anytime you win 44 nothing, of course, you know, you're excited about it, and we are. That's a win. I mean, we're giving up 3 points in 2 weeks. I don't care who you're playing, and we scored 96 points 2 weeks, and we still got a lot of improvement. I thought, you know, I thought we caught the ball better today, so that was one thing. So I think our penalties were down, but we got sloppy at certain points, and we just can't afford that when we're going to go play, you know, the schedule we're going to play. But the kids were really excited about it. I think we lost focus and everything. We had two consecutive plays with fumbles, and you know, we can't have that. But when you have 4 turnovers and still win 44 nothing, I think you know, there's a lot of good things. Defense, we were playing really well. I think the defense coaches are doing an outstanding job getting those guys to run around. Offensively, you know, I knew it was going to be a little bit of a harder day to run the ball. You know, people just think you just go run up, but all the different stunts and the schemes they were using, it gave us an opportunity to just really go out there and throw the ball a little bit better. I thought some of our kids, I thought Gmo really played well. I thought Wes had an outstanding game. Really taking control, understands where it's coming, where the blitzes are coming from. The kicking game, you know, it's had its moments, but you know, Taylor went in there, banged 3 of them through there, so we're really happy about him. And then the kickoff at number 7, he's really a good player, and so we kind of contained him. But we got a little sloppy, I think, on the punt, you know, the punt returns, and you know, we'll fix it. And you know, I think it's all positive. It's a lot more positive going out there and trying to fix things when you win 44 nothing and having a tough, you know, real close game. I think our kids are feeling good about themselves, and you know, like I told them after now, you know, we got a big one coming up, and we'll see where we're at.
You've always talked about wanting more from the offense. How do you kind of translate that throughout the course of the entire team?
The same. You know, I do the exact same thing. You know, you rely a lot on Timmy and you know, the defensive coaches, just because you know, I wouldn't even know what they were calling out there, and I don't want to know. You know, I think I'm not a guy that's going to go over there and tell them what to do. I mean, you leave them alone. You got good people out there. They're doing what they were paid to do, and so. You know, we went through a couple fourth downs again. I think we're 3 of 3 right now, so you know, I think that was pretty good. But you know, defensively, you know, I asked those guys, what do you need? Let me know. You know, and then we always talk about schemes. You know, things that they're going to see. We can run almost exact same thing because our offense is so complex that we can get those guys ready. But they really don't do too much with them. Special teams, you know, get involved in them a little bit, you know. But Al's doing a good job. The coach is doing a fabulous job. I mean, they're working hard and they're working smart. And, you know, so far so good.
Obviously, you face bigger tests, but last year when you played some of these non-conference games, your defense unable to do that. What do you see as the big difference?
Maturity, you know, of one, you know, up front. You know, I think we're a lot more mature up there. We're physically, you know, look better. But you know, you gotta give credit to the players, and you gotta give credit to the defensive coaches. I mean, they're doing a heck of a job.
Going in, did you plan to run more today?
Yeah, tried to get that thing going. You know, Fergie, we just kept him out in the second half. No use playing him. You know, we try to find. You know, I think Keyshawn probably struggled a little, but you know, put him back in. Just you know, I thought he ran a little bit better. You know, the second time we threw him back in. I thought Henry went in there. So you know, they got some pretty good work. And then you know, I thought Wes, you know, handled himself, and then Chase Krause goes back in there, and you know, first series, same thing, you know, but the second series, he played really well. So really happy that we got him a chance. I think, what was he, 5 and 9 or 5 of 8, you know, and people, you don't question him, but he's a good player. He's going to be a real good player.
Any updates on some clarity, Zachy?
I think Tim might, I think that's going to be a little bit of an issue with his hand. And then Zach, I'm not sure. I'm sure they'll get an MRI in there soon.
What you said, you got a big one coming up. What kind of game? What does this mean for you guys?
Well, we get, you know, go on the road. Number 1, number 2, we're playing an ACT team. You know, North Carolina with a lot of tradition, and you know, you know, when you go on the road, it's different. You know, these Power 5 teams, a lot of times you don't leave the state sometimes. And, so we got to see how we've grown up when we go on the road. We're going to do something a little bit different. We're going to stay here probably as long, with classes and do all our work here, and then just get on the plane and go there, eat, have a little meeting, and then go to bed. Good thing is, it's our time clock. It's it's a 12 o'clock game, so it's really 11 o'clock for us. So, I think we'll be okay there, but we got to educate our guys and understand it. And it's going to be we have a lot of things we talked about. One of them is don't flinch. And, we're going to have some tough spots during that game. We all know that. How we're going to react. And today, I thought there were some tough spots there today, and so we got some things there. We got our 2-minute game. So we created that by taking those timeouts right before halftime. We got the preach punt at the end. Didn't successfully get it, but we will. So you try to create scenarios in these type games that you kind of relate to those guys. So when the situation comes up in a tight game, then you can handle it.
How will you feel West today?
Really well. I mean, I think he's just got, and I don't think I can't remember him getting hit. So he wasn't getting hit. He was throwing the ball accurately. There was a couple of them that with some technique issues we had to get fixed on the outside. But for the most part, threw the ball away. Did some pretty good things. So I think he's got real command, and he's feeling good health-wise because he hasn't taken a lot of hits. I mean, the first couple games last year, we were getting him banging around pretty good. We don't have that yet. And hopefully we don't.
What do you think of your run game? Seems like you struggle to get that going. And what more receiver screens and things like that?
Well, I'd say, in college football, if you ask every defensive guy out there, the number one thing they're going to always say is you're going to stop the run. So most of the time you're going to get one more guy down in the box. And if you don't, you're going to do a lot of stunting, a lot of movement, and that kind of slows everybody down. So and again, I don't care how we move the ball, but some teams, that's just what they do in order to survive. And so you got to understand that you got to get them out of it. Just like to me, all those passes outside, they're all runs. I mean, it's a run-pass option there. So if that guy wants to go outside, so if you tack all those on there, to me, that's a run. You're adding, 60, 70 more yards. I mean, that's how we look at it. I don't think we'll ever be a big downhill, just knock them off the ball right now. It takes time. It takes a lot of good recruiting. It takes, it takes a little bit more. And, at this point, we're not exactly there, but if we keep on with the run-pass options, we got a chance to get less guys in the box, and then they get a chance.
Last week you said you told Chase Crouch to try not to win the Heisman when he went on the field. What'd you tell him this week?
We just told him just be patient. For the first play, he actually made a really good read. We had a bust up front. I thought he handled himself really well. He was really composed, I thought, today. And I thought that, the way he has to play with that group, you got to play fast for him to be successful. So that's why the tempo got moved up a lot more to give him a chance. There's some guys that haven't played a lot of college football in that setting there. And I thought he handled really well. Even the touchdown pass, we had called something else, but he saw something on the backside and checked it. So that means he's thinking, he's understanding what the system is. Is he ready? Probably not. But if we keep on getting in those situations, I think he's got a chance to be a pretty capable backup. I really like what I'm saying. Practice same way. The more comfortable you get, the better off you'll be, and that's what we're seeing with him.
How concerning are the turnovers?
This one was, because there was two fumbles, and I didn't see it, but somebody told me one. He didn't get it. He just ran into one of our guys. We preach that so much. So it's just like penalties. You put the big emphasis on penalties, and all of a sudden, I can look at 3. Now, okay, you got to face. Like putting your finger in the dike sometimes. But that should not happen. As much emphasis we put on there. And I know those, 2 guys were really disappointed what happened. And even in the intercept, really, that's Les threw in the spot that he shouldn't have thrown to. We got a bad technique on the outside. Drifted, and the guy undercut him. That's where you need to throw the ball. We work all week there, and so we just got to understand. The good thing is you win 44-0, you lose a turnover battle. Now we got to explain that, and understand what's going to take in order to beat the teams we got to beat.
Definitely on the returns a little struggles there? What was going on?
You know, I think the wind. You know, the kid was, you know, he was punting, but, you know, a little a point there. I don't think he adjusted real well.
You mentioned like some of the sloppiness. Is that, it's not a good thing, but just to, is that something you can kind of harp on or say like going into next week's game, what we can't let up like that?
Yeah, I think sometimes, you know, when you play a little sloppy and the game's really tight, I think everybody gets tight. You know, when you win 44-0 and you play sloppy at times, guys are more, they respond a little bit better in a positive manner. And, you know, we feel them as men. You know, you just got to fix it. We talk about the team all the time. It's all about the team, right? And when you go out there, when you fumble the ball, right, you're hurting the team. And I don't want them to be, you know, you're the one, but you know what, I got to do better for my teammate. And that's the big thing we're stressing with our players. And you can see it. I mean, guys are really disappointed. I mean, they don't fumble on purpose. You know, they go out there and, you know Tyler White, I mean, he's really upset. Okay, fix it. You know, and instead of, you know, just being so negative, you know, fix it and we'll get better. You know, if he fumbles again, I'd be really, really surprised.
Anything else?
Okay, thank you guys. I appreciate you coming.
Start with players here in a minute.